Hey everybody, it's Avi Tenenbaum. I hope you like my frock. This is my first time and perhaps the last I'm ever going to wear a frock. I have a Rav friend that I learn with every day. In the last few years I dressed like an ISIS fighter and I dressed like a police officer, and he said this year I'm going to lend you a frock of mine. You got to dress like a Rosh Yeshiva. So if you have any suggestions about what my yeshiva or Mossad should be called, please send in a name, and all names or ideas are welcome. Okay. So I wanted to give a little idea on Purim. We've been very busy with Russia, Ukraine. We're going to try to be besimcha. I heard of Rav Weiss speak recently, and Rav Asher Weiss Shrita said that on the one hand, we have to be happy about Purim, and on the other hand, we can't forget that there's a lot of people suffering and dying and running away and losing everything that they have in Ukraine. There's hundreds of thousands of Jews in Ukraine that are displaced, that are in danger, and so they're both true. So we've been busy with that. And now that we mentioned that, we dampened it a little bit, and we are noisy about Chavera. And now we're going to talk about Purim. So, everyone quotes the Baal Shem Tov every single year on HaKoirei Es HaMegillah LaMafreya Lo Yatsa. It's a very cliche thing that everybody quotes. And basically, the way I always heard it was that if you look at how things go in hindsight, they always make more sense, right? So if you read the Megillah Lemafreya out of order or backwards, then you're not Yotze, because the whole lesson of the Megillah was that, this Megillah story happened over 13 years, if you do the historical research, according to at least some of the shittas that I learned in past years. I haven't reviewed it this year, so I hope I'm right in what I'm saying. But it seems like from the Seder Hadoros, this happened over a 13-year period. And imagine living at that time and you're so afraid of what's going to happen, and one event happens, the second one, the third one, and you don't know where this is leading to. And it looks bad, and it looks like Hashem is nowhere to be found, as we know that Hashem's name is not in the Megillah. And in the end of the day, it all works out in this incredible, unanticipated way that you couldn't have imagined, and we have the best possible outcome, and then we even have a source of joy and a holiday that comes out of it. And I think this is the way people always quote the Baal Shem Tov, that if you read the Megillah backwards, you're not Yotze, right? Because if you see things in hindsight, so then they always make sense. But if they always make sense, so then let's try to see them in foresight. Let's try now to be forward thinking and to say, oh, things always work out backwards, so then it must mean that everything has a purpose. Hashem is a very big God. He loves us. He's following us. He's arranging the whole show behind the scenes at all moments. And He's kind of carrying us along. And we don't have to worry. And we have so many psukim about Emunah and Bitachon, which hopefully we're going to start making videos about Emunah and Bitachon soon. And we're going to be talking about that. I don't know if you can hear, but somebody's doing like a horn in the background because we're warming up for Purim. It's not Purim yet. It's Gedalit here, but we're Yerushalayim, so we do Tezvav. So people are practicing their Haman sounds. But anyways, so, once we learn from the story of the Megillah that Hashem is nowhere to be found, His name is not in the Megillah, but really He's there the whole time, and really this happens, and that happens, and that happens, and Mordechai does the right thing, lo yichrav, lo yishtachave, and then because of that there's a decree, and it looks like by doing the right thing, bad things happen, but that's not true. You never lose by doing the right thing. And then Esther gets taken away, but that seems like a bad thing too. But in the end, Revech v'Hatzala comes out from that too, and she saves all the Jewish people, and she's such an incredible leader and an inspiration. And then in the end, this whole thing turns into a Yom Tov and a source of Simcha every single year. So the Baal Shem Tov seems to say that, but he nuances it a little bit more. So just if you look in the Baal Shem Tov Al HaTorah, very easy, safer to find. A lot of shuls have it, and you look in page. Where's that page? Right here. On page Taf Reish Mem Aleph, okay? He talks here about the Megillah. And he says two little sentences that puts a nuance on what we're saying. And he says, the pasuk says, it says, V'yemei hapurim ha'elan lo ya'avru mitoch ha'yehudim. These days of Purim are never going to pass from the Jews. The Jews are always going to, or should, always observe Purim. And if you just read the pasuk on a simple level, it's saying, the Jews every year until the end of time should keep Purim. But says the Baal Shem Tov on a deeper level, what it's saying is, Lo ya'avru la'olam. This phenomena of how bad things happen and Hashem is nowhere to be found and it looks like things are getting worse and worse and we don't know what to do, and then all of a sudden things turn out in the best possible way, but only in a hindsight then you see how it was incredible and it was a blessing and it was amazing and you became a greater person throughout that whole process. So the Baal Shem Tov says, V'niskarim v'na'isim mamish b'kol dor v'dor. This story happens every single generation, over and over and over. Kamavur b'shem adoni avi zkeni zechroning of. So the Degel Machne Ephraim says about his grandfather that this is how history works. This is how HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes every single generation work. And this is true even on an individual level. In this generation, with these people, with you, with me. And then in the next sentence, he quotes on page Tafresh Manbez, the cliche thing that we quoted before. HaKaire es hamagila l'mafreya. Omer hari Baal Shem Tov. HaKaire es hamagila l'mafreya pirush. What does it mean? If you read the Megillah l'mafreya, you did not fulfill the obligation. Pirush, it means shesayver ki az haya hanes v'lay ata lo yatsa. If you think that Hashem only bailed out the Jews then, and really it was revealed he was there the whole time and not now, then you missed the boat. You just didn't understand what we're supposed to be learning from Purim. And this is a special message for every person in the TFRP community and outside that maybe should join us, because we're a special group of people that we're growing together. We're real people with real struggles. But anyone out there that went through a divorce, is struggling with poverty, mental illness, addiction, depression, whatever it is, there's a lot of hardships in life. Physical illness, terminal illness. There's a lot of difficult things in this world, and some of them are hard to understand, and they're certainly really hard to go through. But what we're trying to do is adapt that forward perspective. We're trying to say, okay, we learned from the Purim story, Hashem is nowhere to be found, seems like everything is going down the tubes, nothing is going to work out, but in the end, everything is for the best. Everything works out. Everything builds us to be a greater person. It creates for us a legacy. Without this adversity, we will never become the great people that we're meant to be. And we need this adversity. We need this to happen. But when we're in the middle of it, it's very hard for us to see. We're just trying to survive. We're just trying to get through the day. But in the end of the day, there is a real, tremendous chizuk that I really want you to feel in your heart. It's really true. It's not just a cute vort. It's true that when these things happen, in the end, it's a blessing. In the end, it builds us to be greater people. We don't want to go into these situations. We don't choose these situations. Or maybe we chose it and we made some mistakes. That could happen too. But in the end of the day, everything is for a purpose. Everything is building us. And in the end, we're going to have our own Purim story. We're going to look back and understand the whole thing. This is true on an individual level. This is true on a personal level. This is also true on a national level. It's true with the elected officials that you do like in office, don't like in office. It's true with every single part of the Purim story. That happens in every single generation, in every single way. So we should have that chizuk, know that Hashem is a huge, unlimited, loving God. He's with us all the time. He knows exactly what's going on. He put us here. He gave us tremendous kochos. We're able to get through this. I'm also going to invite every single person that's watching this, if you can, do something small to help yourself out a little bit. If it's hard for you to get out and to make a phone call, to get out of bed, to try to face the day and to, see some people and be a little bit social, maybe because of some things you're going through, try to make a little bit of an effort. A lot of times we hold ourselves back from having a little bit of a nicer day because of some difficult things we're going through. If you can, make a special effort. You deserve it. You're worth it. Try to do something that's going to give yourself a little bit of a better Purim. If, Baruch Hashem, your Purim's going okay, think of other people that are going through a hard time. Pick up the phone, call them, wish them a happy Purim, write them a message, give them a Mishloach Manos, invite them to your Suda. Let's go through life together. Let's strengthen one another. Let's share the experience, strength, and hope, the chizuk that we get from one another. We should have a beautiful Purim and adopt the most incredible perspectives that help us to get through life and to become greater, stronger people, closer to Hashem, and to be true, genuine people to ourselves. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful, beautiful, sweet Purim.